What's up, everybody? It is me, King Alpha. Hope everybody is doing great. So, guys, they released the patch notes finally for tomorrow's big update and everything. And I obviously will be streaming the entire update. Well, I'll be streaming after the update when Season 7 arrives and we get Vikings. Now, there's some big changes in here. I'm not going to go over everything because, I just want to skim over certain things. But honestly, there is a lot of huge changes to units, to a lot of things that we just haven't seen. And I know I haven't released any videos on terms of like the Berserker units and everything like that, but I'm going to release that as well on the side. Since the Sons of Fenrir do come out tomorrow, I'm just going to literally just use them tomorrow in the stream and upload some videos with that. But in terms of Berserkers and Shield Maidens, some of the things, it was a bit buggy and stuff. So some of the stuff obviously on the PTR is not final. And the issue with, like, for example, the Berserkers, the Veteran Sea line was not like, it didn't have any of the numbers that we needed to see what like certain lines were. So like the bottom line just didn't, it said like rage increased by, and then that's it. So in terms of that, I'll wait until the actual game like gets updated, and then I can obviously showcase like their Veteran Sea line and the numbers to actually talk about which line which should be better, etc. I will be coming out with a unit tier guide as well, in terms of what's going to be changed in the season, because there's a lot of changes. And I'm sorry if this video is a bit long, but there's a lot of changes that need to be talked about and everything. And if you guys do want to actually watch like any content or anything that I do stream on Twitch as well. So just in case you guys are wondering, Twitch drops as well on the 22nd. Don't forget about that. We'll make a video about that as well, whenever the rewards are released. So the new content obviously is the new units. You have the new like Season 7 content as well, which is the seasonal store, all that other type of stuff. They have activated the ruin system, which we'll talk about the ruin system as well, but in a separate video. You got the avatars and frames, you got the new siege map, you got added fief raids as a separate tile and the match combats interface, and activated the favor system and the Northland store. So I know people are asking what that is. That is a store that's basically replacing the Lion store. It's just the same thing, just called different. But we weren't really able to showcase it because the thing is with the Lion store, things can change. So obviously I'll showcase and I'll talk about the Lion store and the favor system and everything once that is released, like I said. So you get Sons of Fenrir the first day, then Berserkers will be available after week 3, and then week 5 Shield Maidens will be available. So they changed how they are going to be doing the reduced difficulty. So for example, Season 6, we had reduced difficulty for Season 2 units, but now we're going to have reduced difficulty for Season 3 units as well. So basically, they're hoping that you played catch up on Season 2 units before, and then now you play catch up on Season 3 units. So they're going to be basically doing this every season, which honestly is really great. I think it's nice to the fact that like you can actually go back and get your units, whatever units you didn't pay for, or wanted to grind but didn't want to really get. So, and Season 3 units are very important as well, so that's a good thing. As well, there's the campaign. I'm not going to go too much into the campaign, but basically the starting areas is Osteria and Anadolu. And then you have Ungavaria and Borderlands, which is inaccessible. And then it continues on. And basically the big capital is going to be there's like Agolia, Regionopolis, and Turavaros as well, which is the core capital. So Turavaros would be the core capital instead of Agolia like last season. And then it continues on. Then we have the ruin system. So the ruin system is very interesting. There's going to be I'm going to go an in-depth guide on these, but we'll obviously talk about it. The ruins are season based as well and will expire at the end of the season. However, the system itself will persist through the future seasons. So every ruin that we see now and everything can change next season, or any ruins that we do get can change next season. So for example, let's say there's a ruin that says they want to give Hail of Blades some type of CC immune. Maybe next season they can give Flying Reaper CC and immune and stuff, because there is certain ruins that are only like for certain like skills and stuff for weapons, but they don't give ruins for everything. It's not for like every skill you could get a ruin and all that type of stuff. And they can switch. They can turn them different or anything like that next season. So it's a really nice thing because the ruins can change heroes immensely, but like obviously if there's something that's too overpowered, they could fix it or remove it or change it, things like that. So the rune system is really nice. We'll talk about it, but like I said, I'll do an in-depth video on the rune system as well. There's 4 types. So you have the common, the weapon, the helm, and the armor. And then you have 4 types, which is the legendary, epic, rare, and uncommon. Which based off of this, like I said, there's the well, I didn't say it, but there's only 6 ruin power slots that you can get, and each one has a certain amount of power that it can actually take. So legendaries is 4 because it's giving you a legendary type. It's like a legendary type doctrine almost on your hero now. But anyways, I don't want to go into that too much because it's a lot. It's a lot to go into, and looking and seeing what's gonna be like the best combos and all that type of stuff. It's a lot. Avatar frames and everything, we've already seen this, which is nice. I do enjoy it. This will be displayed everywhere, leaderboards, career, all that type of stuff. So it's going to be really nice. And as you can see, like, for example, if you're first, your little avatar and banner, and frame, sorry, avatar and frame will be showing up in the thing. Then you have the season weekly quest, which is basically the same stuff. And then they added new main quests. So the lore of the ruins at level 15, wolf hunting unlocks at level 30. Going berserk unlocks at 12 server time March 29th. So this is going to be like new little events, which is going to be really cool to play on, and obviously get whatever rewards can be like are just there as well. And then you have the Northernland store in the favor. Like I said, I couldn't really show it because there was a couple bugs on the PTR, but basically there is going to be a new attire that is going to be just the same like the last one with the Black Blood Archon. Now there's going to be a new different variation of the Odin attire as well, which is pretty sick. Then they talk about the earning favor and all that type of stuff, and how that works is basically donations, same type of thing. And they added new like things as well. They've make sure to actually have like a chance of like rewarding you like stuff that you could pay tribute. I know a lot of people were like struggling to pay tribute during the season in terms of like using like whatever items that they can. But they've added it now in the beginning now with War Plunder, so it should be easier to actually do donations and everything. And the donations, when I looked at it, it seems about the same. You can get the weapon skins from the season, and then everything else just looks like it's from like the mercenary tire chest. So just keeping that in check. So as well, the blades are now in session. So it's literally blades are going to be used for everything now. There's no more hero tokens or anything. Blades will carry on to every single season. There's a cap of 10,000, which is obviously good, but you should spend your blades. And as well, so they said something as well that I don't think is here, but okay, so yeah, basically like, so they're keeping the antique attires for 3 seasons per season. So when you go to buy like these antique attires and everything, they will, so the weapons will make sure like every season the weapons will not be there. So like for example, we're getting season 3 stuff, the weapons will not come back, but the hero and unit skins will come back next season. Now the only thing is that the hero skins and the unit skins and all that type of stuff will only be there for 3 seasons until they are removed from the blade store, because obviously they're going to be putting in other the past season stuffs. However, the price for the units are all going to be full priced after the next season. So I believe, for example, the antique snow attire was 2,000 blades, but now it's 2,500 for the unit attire this season, and then that's it. So what it is, it does look really nice that you can, if you do like a certain unit attire, you can get that unit attire a couple of times. So it's actually giving people a chance to accumulate blades and get what they want. And you can actually even get more and more weapon skins with using blades, instead of having to exchange your hero tokens for sacks of blades. Now you can literally just take whatever blades you want and buy anything in the store, which is awesome. Then you also have this new thing where you could do like a attire review. So you come over here, you click it, and they review the attire, which is really nice. They did some premium account improvements. So war points 5, you get a vault key. So they're giving you extra vault keys during the like weekly quests and stuff, which is nice. So this is how it looks now, which is really cool. They added some nice interface things as well. So they have like what premium account gives you and what extra like glory and all that type of stuff gives you for, it depends like whatever event's going on. As well, during the XP, they have it where you can see what XP you're actually getting with premium account and everything. So it kind of shows like, is it really worth having premium account or not? So just a big thing. They did switch up Agolia as well to improve like how attacking is. So now in terms of people can attack here and get the supply point and actually like attack a little bit more. And I've always said this, that Agolia is a pain to attack, because for the first like 5 minutes you're literally trying to get siege towers up and you're trying to see if you can even push A and all that type of stuff. So now with the fact that they're putting something all the way in the left hand side over here, it's really going to change how attacking Agolia is. Same with Sun City, they changed how Sun City works, which we'll obviously have to see as well. Resolved some issues and everything. New player optimization, so they did like some new player stuff, which new players, you guys can read over that. Not trying to bash you new players, I'm just saying like there's no point in reading over everything, because I want to get to the nitty gritty stuff. So they've done a lot of Warlord balancing and optimization. It is crazy. So Spear is kind of getting a decent, I guess, nerf in a way. And then you have Bow getting a little bit of a nerf when it comes to the Bodkin tipped arrow. So I mean, I don't use Bodkin tipped, but they're reducing it anyways. The short bow is getting a little bit of a nerf when it comes to the steel tipped arrow. So you're actually getting like a little bit reduced defense, which both the numbers are the same. So I don't know if this is a bug. I might message them because I know they did have some typos in here. So I think this is a bug as well. I'm assuming this is supposed to be 40% and then this is supposed to be 30%. And then Poleaxe is getting a big buff. It's crazy. So based on gameplay and data and player feedback, we're adjusting Poleaxe to increase damage capability against units. So added a new dismount skill, combat dismount. Dismount straight into combat, inflicting 200% of your base slashing damage. Extra effect, knocks down enemies. So I think Poleaxe might become the new Maul, because Maul did kind of get a nerf, but also a little bit of a buff and things like that. You also get increased the effect, which slows your target for the skill. So the old bill hook from 20% to 40%. So bill hook is actually going to be getting a big buff. So Poleaxe, you're going to start seeing a lot of Poleaxes. Greatly increased the block of break of basic attacks and skills. Longsword, I'm not going to go too much into longsword. They tried to put more things with longsword to give it extra damage. The only issue is it still didn't give, if you guys want to read that, it just still didn't give that much like damage stuff. So this is the big changes on Spear. They've reduced a lot of the damage on the Dragon Roar by a lot. They they lowered the block break of Propitious Gift from 1,000 to 500. The full tilt charge can no longer maintain charge once the mount endurance has been depleted. So if you guys don't know, when you do the basically like the sprint charge on your horse with your spear, and you can go really fast, if for example your horse has no stamina, you will not be able to do full tilt charge, which is interesting because it's kind of true. If your horse is going at full speed but then has no stamina, how is it actually riding really fast? So that's going to be really cool to see how Spear players are going to adapt to this. And then they've changed the box to how the dismounting strike works. So it's around them instead of like a really massive box in the front side, which is crazy. Short sword is getting a big nerf to Ironsides. So once the defensive buff on the skill Ironsides runs out, you'll be weakened for 4 seconds, reducing the Warlord's defense by 15%, which kind of makes sense, but it can it can hurt a lot as well, because you use Ironsides. And I will say this though, like short swords are ridiculous when it comes to Ironsides. Like they can take damage, But with this happening, we'll have to see what happens. But don't forget though, guys, I want to say this real quick. Even with these nerfs, there is ruins that will probably, like the ruin system that can probably fix certain things or even buff Ironsides even more. I think there was one that you can buff Ironsides to like last longer, but then it has a longer cooldown and things like that. So don't look at these patch notes and be like, okay, wow, I can't play this class, I can't play this class. No, the ruin system is going to help some of these nerfs and changes. So just keep an open mind, if anything. Dual Blade's been nerfed, so reduce the armor penetration by 30% for the skill Ambush. Okay. Glaive has gotten a buff, so increase the area attack and the amount of units it may hit. This serves to increase overall area effect damage and increases the block break of basic attacks. So basic attacks are seeming to be getting a bit of a bigger buff, I guess, per se. Nodachi is getting a huge buff, and I mean a huge buff, and I feel like, and I was looking at it, they have some ruins that really make Nodachi beast. So we're gonna see how this is, but basically increase the block break of basic attack and skills, which is good. Adjusted the range of Dragon's Leap by modifying the hitbox and skill. It adjusted the speed at which the damage is dealt. So as we could see, after the damage is dealt like highly all around compared to before. It's like kind of it's kind of on the left hand side, but then it's heavy on the right side. But now it's all around, which is interesting. So Dragon's Leap is going to become crazy, but now they did this, so they affected a lot of skills. So Bloodthirsty grants but now it grants 20% life drain and reduces damage taken by 20% and increases movement speed by 20% and lasts 8 seconds for Bloodthirsty. So you get 5% less life drain, but you get reduced damage taken by 20%, and you get movement speed extra 5% for this. So now with Monstrous Blade as well, I'm just going to go over the third one because I'm not going to go over the other ones. So Monstrous Blade, it allows you to do this, consume health. It is crazy with Monstrous Blade. Adds a 15% lifesteal effect to your attacks for 12 seconds. Consumes Bloodlust and blah, blah, blah. Each stack of Bloodlust will increase lifesteal effect by 5%. Consuming Bloodbath increases lifesteal effect by 30%. This skill can add a 45% lifesteal effect at most. That is ridiculous. And then it adds an extra effect. Consuming Bloodlust / Bloodbath provides a healing effect. Each stack of Bloodlust restores 200 health per second, and Bloodbath restores 1,200 health per second, lasting 4 seconds, and can restore up to 1,800 health per second. Nodachi is making a massive comeback, which is nice because it's been seasons since Nodachi has, ever since Maul came out. I'm not saying the reason why Nodachi sucks is because of Maul, but with them adding another extra heavy armor class, Nodachi just was bad. So yeah. Maul nerf. I know everybody was looking into this. So they increased the stamina cost when running with the first skill, Fast Forward, which is not Fast Forward, it's Mighty Milnir. You can no longer run once stamina has been depleted. Which that's interesting. I didn't even know you could run. You couldn't run before when you ran out of stamina. So I don't know, maybe Fast Forward is a different skill and I thought I knew my stuff, but I guess I don't. Increase the stamina cost when running after having grappled an enemy with the skill Combat Grapple. So people were saying, okay, why is it that someone can grab and they have so much stamina they could take you across the map or whatever? They do have something that I'm gonna say is it does help this. They did give a ruin where you can carry someone for 20% extra, for 20% longer distance. So depending if you're a Maul main or anything, like I said, there's going to be ruins that even though there's nerfs, there are also things that you can help, I guess, negate those nerfs. So they also increased the stamina recovery by 10%. They reduced the block break of some basic attack and skills. They reduced the block break of the first and second hits of Maelstrom. And they reduced the block break of the first and second hits of Up From Hell, which is interesting because there's no nerf to Bonebreaker, which a lot of people complain about. So I'm actually surprised that they did Maelstrom instead of Bonebreaker. So melee infantry. I'm not going to go over everything. over here, like over the gray units. But guys, there is massive buffs to health. Like sword infantry are now, like melee infantry are a big thing now. Like they're making it infantry heavy. Palace guards went from 6,000 health to 7,000 health. The health per level 200 and even slashing damage up. Tesserags, health increase, everything increased. And then they even get increased block break of basic attacks by 50. Got men at arms getting a massive health increase, and even all that type of stuff. If you guys want to look at this stuff, look at it. I'll put the article down below, but it's crazy. Paladin's got even a health buff. Even Asap's got a massive health buff. There's a lot of buffs for these units. It's ridiculous. And then for the spearman infantry, you got even buffs to health of spear sergeants, the massive health of imperial spear guards from 6,700 to 8,000. It's ridiculous. You even have the paladins, I mean the stalwarts getting a health buff as well. And they even did nerf the stalwarts as well, where they reduced their movement speed from 5.2 to 4.7, and even provided, so they resolved an issue where the shields would provide defense on all sides, on the sides as well as the front. So I was saying this as well, when I'm in short bow and I'm shooting at stalwarts, it's crazy how sometimes I'm shooting at the sides and like they're just blocking their sides. Like how? It's ridiculous. Javelins are getting an increase in both piercing damage, health as well. So javelins are going to be really fun to use. The polearm infantry, there is a new change that's basically going to give them, instead of the anti-cavalry, they changed to swamp, which they deal 10% increased damage against cavalry and deal 16% increased damage to cavalry. And damaging a cavalry unit also slows them by 60% for 2 seconds. So all polearms got this. So I mean, like even watchmen have swamp now. And there's a massive buff to polearms this season. I think with the fact that, Cav has literally been just dominating every single season, that it's just, they've really changed this up highly. So polearms, there's going to be a lot of testing and everything with polearm infantry, but I've seen some stuff and it is crazy. Other units, which is the Iron Reapers and Scyldars, got a massive buff as well, with the increase of 1,000 health on the Iron Reapers, and then you even have an increase on 800 as well on the Scyldars. So it's a big buff. It's still a big buff. Ranged infantry basically got a big buff as well, increased the accuracy of all bow units against far away targets. So that would be really good against like longbows and everything, because obviously like longbows, like low-key really did like suck entirely. Like they go full range and then they miss everything. So yeah. I'm trying to see if there's anything I missed. Oh, so they also, sorry, so they did say the sword and shield units had a hard time dealing with shield units. So the enemy's defense due to their low damage. So we have increased the block break of all sword and shield units, infantries, by 60%. So sword and shield units are making a comeback, boys. But yeah, like I said, polearms got that buff, and then we're going to go into the ranged infantry. They did increase just like armor piercing damage and all that type of stuff. They did reduce the leadership of Rattan Vipers from 195 to 165, which is a big change. And then you even have the fire archers going from 190 to 180. Namcans are still the same at 180 leadership, so now you can choose between whether using fire archers or Namcans, or both, whatever. Same thing as well, like I said, with that. And then musket infantry, we have reduced the reloading time of all musket units by 8%. So it's going to be a big thing. Now, one thing I wanted to say before is like, can you guys see this? That the fact that tertios have less piercing damage than even Iron Cap Arquebusiers, which I guess, sorry, there was a little blooper. But anyways, like I was saying, so it's crazy how the Iron Cap Arquebusiers can actually do more damage than tertios. So that's really interesting. And I feel like that should be changed, because I mean, I understand tertios that they are tanky. They're tanky muskets and everything, but the fact that they still do less damage than even like green muskets is crazy. And like for their leadership too. So we have the cavalry changes as well. So Kutavel or whatever, they're getting a change as well. So piercing damage is increased by 100 and attacks are weakened by 3% for 6 seconds, stacking up to 5 times for Locust Swarm, which is interesting because if you do have any mounted archer or the archery cav doctrines, I'm assuming Kutavel could be good. But leadership cost differences as well. So they've reduced the leadership of Keshiks from 350 to 325, which is actually the same amount of leadership as the Liao Rangers now, because obviously with the new season. And then you have Rattan Rangers getting a reduced leadership from 330 to 320. So this is all very interesting. Cav leadership is also getting knocked down, whereas all golden Cav is basically almost at 320 to 330 leadership. Um, However, Cav is getting a big nerf as well because of the swamp effect and all that other stuff. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think about all of these patch notes. Really look in depth on it and everything. There's a lot of big changes, and I want to know, what things are you most excited for when it comes to the new season and all of the new changes and everything. I hope to see you guys tomorrow on Vikings season 7, and it's going to be a crazy season. That's all I'm going to say, and I'll see you guys next time. Deuces, have a good one.